What's up people, how's it going? So today just doing a quick video, 4 ways that you can defend against population control and the manipulation from higher powers. Before I get into it, I just want to preface this video saying that if you agree or disagree with anything that I say, please comment. If you think anything that I'm saying is wrong, please comment. If you think that you can add any information or add any rebuttals, please comment. I'm all about finding the truth, so don't worry, you're not going to offend me or anything or anyone else. Just please comment whatever you think. So first thing I want to get into is emotional manipulation. So emotional manipulation is when the powers that be use empathy and fear against you to control your actions. They usually do this with half-truths and not full truths. So, for example, in this current times with the COVID-19, they're using empathy against you for people that are high risk of catching COVID and passing away from it. So this empathy is then used to keep you locked away in your house, and you can't go outside. So the half-truth is that there are people that are at high risk, and people that are unhealthy, don't have a great immune system, could pass away, pop the clogs from COVID-19. However, what they don't say is the new data that's come out. If you look at Dr. Erickson's video and a lot of clinical research, up-to-date research has found that the death rate is dropping dramatically to around 0.03% of people that pass away from COVID-19. And I don't know if that was, I think that was correct, but the gist of it is that it's not much different from the flu. And that begs the question, why are we having to lock ourselves in our houses for something that's just like the flu? We don't do it for flu. We didn't do it for bird flu. We didn't do it for avian flu. And it's just a convenient excuse for medical tyranny in my eyes anyway. Second thing is, sounds a bit esoteric and a bit spiritual, but you got to use your free will. So if you want to try and make people aware and enlighten people about what's going on, you got to use your free will to actually do this. If you were to give in to the social pressures that are at be, which there are social pressures that are manipulating us not to use our free will. So for example, if you were to see something on Facebook that might have some controversial information but might be some beneficial information to people, but you are afraid to like it or comment or share to your feed, show friends, because you believe that they're going to judge you, this is a type of control, and it's muting your free will a little bit. So these are the type of things that you need to kind of get over in a way, and there's ways of getting over them. So before I go into ways that you can get over the emotional and the control manipulation there, where you're worried about what other people think, other ways that you can use your free will is like what I'm doing right now. Is I'm trying to find any way, even if it reaches like 2 people, it's better than no people, and it could help inspire people to use their free will themselves and do what they think could help other people. So I'm just creating this video to try and get a message out there to try and help someone. Don't know who it could be, but they might be another domino that falls over and then inspires another person who might do something dramatic. So ways of getting over that fear of sharing things. There's quite a few ways actually, but the main way is that it is a made-up fear. I always think it's just a made-up fear, because at the end of the day, it's just you imagining things that don't necessarily exist. So I think of specific people that didn't want to see it because I think, or they could think that this is not true, and therefore think I'm crazy, blah 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 blah. But there is a thing called a silent majority, and the silent majority are more switched on than you think. Other people will be thinking the same as you, where they're afraid to share something because they might feel like they'll be classed as crazy. But if they see you sharing things, that might inspire them to think, okay, that guy's got the balls to share something. It's in line with what I believe. I might share this thing as well. And that's how it creates a more calming atmosphere for people to actually believe and share what they actually believe, rather than trying to socially conform. You will get people that are like what you're sharing, but at the end of the day, fuck them. So now the third way is to check all the information that you come across yourself. So you might listen to some influencers on YouTube or other places, and in the past they've been correct about a certain topic, and you've looked into that topic yourself and you've come to the same conclusion as they've come to. But that doesn't mean that you should blindly believe everything that they say on different topics as well. Look into everything yourself, whether it's politics, health, exercise. Just look into everything and try and validate yourself. There's places that you can go to. So if you haven't been to uni, or you don't know how to look into science, like published papers and find published papers, there's ways that you can do it. So you can go on the basic one, Google Scholar. Go on Google Scholar and then type in what you want to research. You'll find studies. If you can't read scientific papers, just look at the abstract. And it's not the best way of analysing the scientific method and stuff, but if you just look at the abstract and look at the conclusion at the end, try and make of it what you can. The study might not be great, but if you see a consistent theme in the science, then it probably means it's fairly true. Be warned though, because some science is, funded by people with vested interests, so some can be have biases, etc., etc. So if you were to look over your science, over your research, it doesn't have to be scientific papers. Trusted sources research will do, just Google articles and stuff. But if you come to the same conclusion as what the person who you're watching is coming to, then they're probably right on this topic. But still, doesn't mean that they're going to be right on another topic. You got to do it for every topic. It's might be painstaking, but at least you're getting legit truths, until you find someone who's consistently coming up with the same message, and consistently coming up with things that you have validated yourself and seem similar to what you're getting. Then you can kind of trust them a little bit more. But then again, you don't know in your own biases and stuff like that, so it's also good to look at different point of views as well. So the fourth way is to keep yourself healthy, okay? And there is definitely ways to keep yourself healthy, but there's a lot of contradicting information out in the YouTube sphere, the information sphere, Twitter sphere, marketing, products, etc., etc. Whatever. If you want to delve into them and try out some marketed products, fair enough. You might find that they help you. You might find that they're complete bullshit. But there are definitely things that can keep you healthy. Exercise. So you've got your cardiovascular exercise and you've got your resistance training. These two things are pretty much essential. So cardiovascular has loads of surprising, not just like with your blood and your lungs, they've got surprising benefits as your brain and your cognitive ability improves. There's also, I think, something to do with T cells and your immune system that benefits from cardiovascular exercise and resistance, I think. But cardiovascular exercise isn't just for like weight. It's not just for looking good and losing weight. It's got so many benefits to it. So, same with resistance training. Resistance training isn't just for looking good. It's got like blood pressure benefits, and it's got so many different benefits as well, just to the whole efficiency of your body. And if you sweat as well from like cardiovascular exercise and resistance training, there is some evidence to suggest that you can sweat out heavy metals. Like that's why people get saunas and have deep heated saunas, to try and sweat out these metals. This, guys, is something that you got to research into yourself. Like I'm saying, don't just take my word for it. Please look into stuff, because I'm talking, off cuff here. So with my notes in front of me, I'm trying to just remember stuff that I've looked into before and applying to my own life. But you should definitely look into that. So exercise definitely keeps you healthy. You need antioxidants, especially with the EMF radiation that's going around and the free radicals. The antioxidants and electron-rich foods, these are generally foods that, rule of thumb, go off quickly. Vegetables that go off quickly don't last a long time, don't have preservatives, like leafy greens, things that just like wilt and just die. They're things you need to be eating a lot of. Meat, controversial, shouldn't be controversial. There is an argument to say that meats have been, like predators eat smaller animals eat herbs, and the herbs is what goes up the food chain to the bigger predators, getting more of the herbs. The animals that we're eating on a daily basis, if you're not getting like organic, free range meat, then they're probably being pumped with loads of hormones and fed corn and shit, basically, that you're going to be absorbing through them as well. So there is an argument to say that meat can have some harmful effects, and if you eat too much of it, but I always eat meat. It keeps me strong. I think it must have this might have like a person-to-person effect, although there is evidence to suggest that humans are opportunistic creatures, so we've always lived on a mixed diet of herbs and meat. So that's why we got the fangs. People say, oh, we've just evolved for, our teeth have just evolved for, herbs, but we've got fangs for ripping meat, and we got the flat ones for all the herbs and stuff. So we clearly do need both meat and veg in the diet. But then again, do your own research again. Finally, for health, there is definitely an effect from the EMF waves in the air, electromagnetic frequencies in the air, that are harmful. There's always been, we are EMF beings. We give off electrical current. So our heart gives off a EMG. We got our EEGs and the ECGs as well, I think. So we got the brain gives off electrical signals, heart gives off electrical signals, and this can be influenced. Our DNA is influenced by electromagnetic signals. It can be, if it's not the right frequency, it can damage the DNA and just tear it to pieces, and we won't be expressing the correct phenotype. We'll produce moles that are cancerous, etc. And the EMF frequencies from Wi-Fi and 5G, 4G, 3G, FM, AM to a lesser extent, these are things that we're constantly interacting with and are causing us cellular damage on a daily basis. Luckily, the human body's great and it can heal fast, but there will be a time where the cellular damage rate overtakes the rate of the healing rate, which means that we won't be healing fast enough. There's ways you can shelter against this, and there's ways that you can speed up the healing process. So firstly, I've done a video on this before, but I'll just quickly go over it so you don't have to find the video. Antioxidant rich foods. It's the QI shield that you should get. Well, I'm going to do a video testing this out, see if it's legit, but I've looked into it, it seems legit. There's Faraday cages, which is the good old tinfoil hat, which all the conspiracy theories, I don't even know if people talk about that anymore, but that has the Faraday cage. Tinfoil has proven to reflect EMF. You can search loads of videos about this. Ground yourself, so go barefoot, walking on nature ground, not man-made ground, and spend times outdoors in the sun rays, because the sun provides the electrons that we need to pick up and bind to a free radical. I'll comment the links to the video so you can go further explore this topic. But that's it for today, guys. Like I said at the start of the video, if you've got anything else that can help fight against this depopulation agenda and the population manipulation, please comment down below, because I personally like to learn more, but it also benefits the populace watching this video, and it'd just be great help for everyone. So thanks for watching, guys. Much love. I'll see you again in the future.